onye duru anyị wee bịa njem na Amerịka onye duru anyị wee bịa njem na Amerịka anyị bịa ka ibe leta nwanne anyị nwoke bụ nna anyị n'obodo a bụ onye anyị nwụrịla anya na nchekwube na eziokwu nke ya nwa na onye ji guzo na eziokwu a ga na-edu ụmụ Biafra na-aga n'ihu ọ ga na-edu IPOB na-aga n'ihu anyị bịara n'ụlọ ya nabata anyị were obi ọcha na obi dowe nabata anyị anyị na-asị na ọ ga-adịrị ya na mma na ezinụlọ ya na mma anyị na-asị na ihe ọbụla anyị chọrọ bịa mere ka anyị ga-enwetarịrị ya n'ihi na ihe anyị na-ekwu okwu mgbe ị na-ewu n'ọnwụ ndụ mmiri ndụ azụ nwa mmụọ emegbula nwa mmadụ nwa mmiri emegbula nwa mmụọ ihe anyị na-ekwu anyị na-asị na Biafra ga-abịara na ndụ na-awụghị n'ọnwụ anyị ga-eri uru ọmụmụ anyị ga-eri uru akụ na ụba n'ime Biafra anyị na-asị na onye ọwụla pụtara na sị na Biafra agaghị adị onye ahụ agaghị adị anyị anaghị asị emebere ugo obere nke si bebere ka ya gosi nke ọ ga-ebe anyị na-asị na nkụ gị ekwe ọ ga-edo ọ ga-anwụ ọ bụ eziokwu ka anyị ji na-aga njem a ọ bụ ịhụnanya ka anyị ji na-aga ofu obi anyị na-asị onye ọbụla hụrụ eziokwu jide eziokwu aka n'ihi na ọ bụ eziokwu bụ ndụ ọ bụghị okwu asị anyị na-asị na ọ ga-ada anyị niile na mma anyị ga-ahụ echi n'ihi na echi anaghị agwụ agwụ anyị na-arịọ Chukwu nke abịa ma ka onye anyị ndụ nye anyị ahụ isi ife nye anyị ngọzi nke ya nye anyị ịhụnanya ekpere niile ka anyị na-ekpe ọwụ ka onye bi n'ime eluigwe ka o wee nụrụ olu anyị wee gbatara anyị ọsọ enyemaka wee zọpụta anyị na akpa niile nke na-akpa anyị nke bụ Biafra anyị na-asị na ikpete maazụ anyị ga-enye aha nsị ụtụtụ na nsọpụrụ na eji ama site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi
Amadike Biafra.
Welcome, viewers. Welcome. Share the video on your platform, share the network on your platform so that we can start interacting. Welcome. Thank you all for joining. Share the video on your platform. We got to have some little discussions. We'll have some discussion to share views about the situation of things in Biafra land. It is a discussion section. People will be free to speak, say your opinion, say what we know about the situation. You know, the situation now is not like it used to be. It's a very critical time that we are in. And everybody has to stand up and do what they are supposed to do. We all have a role to play. You have a role to play. I have a role to play. You all have a role to play. That is how we can be able to survive. It is no longer a joking matter. It's not a playing matter. The Biafran struggle has gotten to another level. So we'll have to be steadfast and continue to work hard and make sure that everything goes as planned. We'll have some discussions based on things that are happening. While we are waiting, let us just watch some clip, and we're going to discuss about these clips. We'll just have to discuss about them. So while we wait for other people to join us, let's just be watching these clips and see what is going on in the contraption called Nigeria. After watching the clip, we'll come to discuss about it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, once again, I can only thank you for your passionate plea. And I hope that this time around your plea will be answered. But I think I also want to please implore you that whatever you can do on your own end too, sir. Sir, information is not what it used to be. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, if a state or federal government had a television and radio, and probably a newspaper, that was all it needed. The people we are dealing with today, they don't read newspapers. They don't even watch television. It's social media. And it's the most expensive and the most, as an unseen enemy. They are there every moment. And until we use the same, we go to the same battlefield with them, there's nothing the government will do that will seem right. Now with fake news today and misinformation, and I've always said it here, that the next world war will be caused by fake news. You can see even a country like the US that used to pride itself on the freedom of the press is now questioning the role of the social media. Their Congress is doing exactly what we are doing now. So I thank you once again for your support, but I think the least you can do for me, Mr. Chairman, is that even the news they are giving us, please return it to us like that way, sir. And then look for more for us. Thank you very much, sir. Now, Mr.
So we are going to talk about this very issue. It's very sad, the kind of things you hear from the people who call themselves leaders in the controversial Nigeria. That was the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, speaking, telling us that the social media is going to cause the World War III. Do you agree with him? Is he making any sense? Are you proud to have such a person as your Minister of, what do you call him? Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed. It is sad. This is the situation we have found ourselves. And we have to stand up and begin to do the right thing and begin to fight our way out. When you see things that are happening in the contraption called Nigeria on a daily basis, you see a reason why you should ask out of that very contraption called Nigeria. Every day you wake up and you open up your social media accounts or platforms, you begin to see the reason why you should be asking out of the contraption called Nigeria. Every single day you wake up, you will see a reason why you ask out. The clip I just played was the Minister of information in Nigeria, Lai Mohammed, telling you that social media is going to create the third world war. And because of that, that is why they are fighting against the social media, which is where people can be able to air their opinion and tell the world what is actually going on in the contraption called Nigeria. As you all know, they are hiding the information. The truth of the situation is not being said anywhere, and nobody is revealing the truth of this information. You can't know what is happening, except when you come to social media. That is where people say it the way it is. In as much as you can get some people who are giving the wrong information on social media also, but you can't compare it to what you see on the conventional media. In the conventional media, they tell us lies, lies and lies every day. They tell us lies. And they want us to just keep silent and continue to listen to their lies without fighting it out. But we will continue. We'll continue to speak out. We'll continue to say it the way it is without minding who is involved. That is what we are going to do, and we will continue to do so. In as much as they are trying to play everything down and make people believe that it is well when everything is wrong in the contraption called Nigeria. That is where we have found ourselves. But we will never relent in our effort. We will continue to fight on. We'll continue to fight on until Biafra comes. And even after Biafra have come, we will continue to fight on. We'll continue to fight on. We will never give up. So today we are talking about this issue. There are so many other things that are happening in the contraption called Nigeria, more especially in the southeastern part of Nigeria. When I talk about the southeast, I'm talking about the old southeastern region, which include the south and the present southeast. This is Biafra land that we are talking about. In Biafra land, a lot of things are happening. People are losing their lives on a daily basis, and we cannot allow that to continue to happen. That is why we are coming online on a daily basis to give people information on what is happening and give you details and information on how to stay alive. It is not easy. As you all know, you know that the late Buhari imposter, the late Buhari, the person who is playing the script in Asorok, the imposter in Asorok, has given order to the military and police to go to Anambra State and occupy Anambra State. And that is what they are doing as I'm speaking to you now. That is what is going on in Anambra State. A lot of people have been abducted and a lot of people are losing their life on a daily basis. But the people who are going to fall victim are those who have refused to listen to instructions. Because every instruction that you need to stay alive has been released by our Supreme Leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Our Supreme Leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu went further to establish the ESN to make sure that everybody in the southeastern region is secured. The little thing that we have to do is to make sure on our own side that we do the necessary things we have to do. Obey instructions. When you hear the leadership of IPOB says sit at home, you sit at home. When you see fellow Biafrans sitting at home to air their opinion, you sit at home and join them. But when you refuse to do what others are doing, you are exposing yourself to danger. And as you know, the DSS have been assigned to take out everybody who is not dancing to their tune in order to use them to blackmail IPOB. But their blackmail is not going to work. Those who are obeying the instruction and listening to what is going on will never be involved in all the calamity that is happening. They will not get involved. They will not die. But those who have refused to listen or who try to play that it doesn't concern them, they feel that because they are not a family member of IPOB, for that they will not obey instructions. The information that we're giving out is for everybody, every single Biafran. When you hear IPOB, that is the indigenous people of Biafra. And when you hear that the indigenous people of Biafra is being proscribed, everybody in the old southeastern region is proscribed by the Janjaweed government led by Muhammad Buhari. And the imposter in Asorok, who is replacing the late Muhammad Buhari, is playing the script, making sure that they take as many lives as they can. How can you stay alive? The only way you can be alive in this situation is to make sure you listen to the instructions and follow every other person that is speaking. Follow instruction. Open up your ears. When you see your brother sitting at home, you sit at home with them. When you hear the leadership of IPOB giving instruction that people should sit at home, you sit at home with them. As you know, the only voice of freedom, the voice of reason that we have, not just in the southeastern region, not just in Biafra land, not just in the southern part of Nigeria, in that contraption called Nigeria, the only voice of reason and voice of justice, our supreme leader, Nnamdi Kanu, is in captivity. He was kidnapped from Kenya. After he was being kidnapped from Kenya, he was sent to Nigeria through extraordinary rendition. But today, what do you see in the news? They give you a wrong information. Some of you tell you that he was arrested in Kenya. Nnamdi Kanu was never arrested in Kenya because he never committed any crime in Kenya. He went to Kenya, he traveled to Kenya legally with his British passport. He landed and he had an entry. Then while he was going about his business, he was being kidnapped in Kenya. That was exactly what happened. And they sent him to Nigeria. They renditioned him to Nigeria. There was no extradition. We have been shouting about it, saying about it to make sure that the conventional media did not change the narrative. Thank God we are steadfast. I thank every Biafran that have stand firm, broadcasting and sharing videos to make the world know the situation of things. And thank God, as people we are sharing the video, sharing the information, today, the United Nations is standing with the Biafrans, saying the same thing we are seeing today. United Nations is calling upon Nigeria and Kenya to come and explain how they brought our Nnamdi Kanu to Nigeria. He is not a Nigerian, he is a Biafran British. The United Nations is calling on Nigeria to come and explain, and Kenya to come and explain how did they bring our Supreme Ambassador Nnamdi Kanu to Nigeria. Initially, I was saying it, I said that our Supreme Ambassador Nnamdi Kanu have no case to answer. These people are so dumb after committing a war crime. They were so bold to take him to their court. I told you before then that our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not going to stand any trial. The people who are going to stand trial is the Janjaweed government. They are the ones standing trial. And today, they are the ones standing trial. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter how they go about it. They will continue to stand trial. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is innocent of all charges, remains innocent, and nobody can find him guilty of anything. You can't find him guilty of any crime. You can't find him guilty of any crime because he is absolutely innocent. He's innocent. Everything you see people doing against him, every lie flying from east, west, north, and south, they are all lies, and none of them is holding water. And today, we are lifting our heads high. We can speak louder than ever, even while we are talking. Not just the United Nations calling on Nigeria, the US congressmen are discussing the issue of Biafra. And the congressmen have vindicated IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra, that they are not terrorists. You saw just recently when the Attorney General of the Federation, Malami, came out to tell lies against the IPOB, to tell all manner of lies against the IPOB. And people went about their business as if it is true. Even their conventional media continued to promote that lie, when we all know that what he was telling was lie, calling IPOB a terrorist organization, saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is running a terrorist organization. Today, congressmen in the United States are making case for IPOB and Biafrans. They are speaking up for Biafrans, saying it clear that Biafrans are not terrorists. If there is any terrorist existing in Nigeria, it is the government, and we know them. They support the terrorists, they fund the terrorists. Everything that terrorists stands for, that is what Nigerian government stands for. And somebody will still come out and begin to say otherwise. There is no two ways about it. And to tell you that what I'm saying is not just saying it, I'm going to share the video, a short clip of the discussion that was made by a congressman in the United States. Congress was discussing about the issue of Biafra, telling the world that we are not terrorists. I want to share the short clip so that we can know where we stand and what is actually going on. We will never stop. It doesn't matter how they try. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter the angle they come from. We will surely overcome.
We also see in Nigeria the selective use of counterterrorism laws to attack political opposition. Nigeria, on a daily basis, witness the impunity which is so-called Fulani herdsmen extremists who share an ethnic and religious identity with President Buhari and the Fulani elite, which now dominates all key institutions in Nigeria, attack predominantly Christian villages in the Middle Belt. State security forces, which are obligated to protect civilians, are at best indifferent or at worst complicit in the ongoing and sustained attacks. Meanwhile, the government has no qualms about labeling groups agitating for separatism, such as the indigenous people of Biafra or IPOB, as terrorists, and using this label as justification for repression. The fact that there are multiple groups now agitating for dissolution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, especially among the Igbo and Yoruba people, be they Christian or Muslim, lay directly at the feet of the Buhari government, which appears intent upon destroying the balance between the North and South and denying the many ethnic groups that have comprised Nigeria's rich mosaic representation in government. By labeling those with legitimate grievances as terrorists, and while turning a blind eye to those so-called herdsmen who are actually committing terror, the Buhari government is furthering the eventual dissolution of Nigeria. Finally,
Africa's most glamorous online media awards is here again.
So that is it. So when we tell you what is happening in the country, we show you exactly what is going on. That is a congressman in the United States speaking up for Biafrans, speaking up for the indigenous people of Biafra, speaking up for IPOB. That was a congressman making a case for us. So you can see everything we are saying online. Some people call it noise making. Some say we are wasting our time. Some say we are just talking. Everything that we are saying online, they are hearing it. They called our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a noise maker. Every noise that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been making in the past, they are hearing it. And today, you can hear a congressman speaking up for Biafrans, telling them that we are not terrorists. They can give us any name they want to give us. They can say anything they want to say. We are not terrorists. That is absolute truth. That is absolute truth. And the people who are the terrorists is the government. They are the terrorists. You know that. I know that. It has been proven beyond reasonable doubt that they are the terrorists. And they are not hiding it. They are not hiding it. You can see Sheikh Gumi. Sheikh Gumi is jumping from pillar to pole, representing the bandits. Openly. He's not shying away from it. Sheikh Gumi is representing the bandits, speaking up for them, making a case for bandits. Recently, Sheikh Gumi has come out to threaten the contraption called Nigeria, that if they dare call bandits terrorists, that Nigeria will burn. What else are you expecting? This Sheikh Gumi, who is making a case for the bandit, is being protected by DSS in Nigeria. They gave him special security. The securities are moving around with him. They gave him a lot of guards guiding him. They are protecting him. Yet, he's coming out to stand against. Last time it was against, he was speaking against a presenter in Arise Television, telling the presenter to stop calling the bandits terrorists. We thought it was a joke. Today, he is shouting down on the lawmakers, those who call themselves lawmakers. He's shouting down on them, telling them that they dare not call bandit terrorists. And you and I that know that these people are terrorists, people who have capacity to shoot down a military aircraft. They have all manner of weapons. And these people are the terrorists we're talking about. They only decided to rename them bandits so that they can be accepted in the cities. This thing has been going on, and people are going about their business as if nothing is wrong. But today, you can see what is going on. The people know about it, but they are scared to say about it. Even the media in Nigeria, they know what is going on, but most of them are so scared they cannot be able to stand and speak the truth and say it the way it is. I am going to share with you a discussion that was made on Arise Television about the issue of Gumi, the way the terrorist promoter sponsored by Abuja, sponsored by Asorok, promoted by Asorok. That is their spokesman, Gumi. This was the role Buhari was playing before he got to power. Even the Boko Haram we are talking about, Boko Haram at a point in time, they appointed this Buhari, they appointed the late Buhari as their spokesperson. When Ihejirika was fighting them to clear the Boko Haram, Buhari told him that every fight against Boko Haram is a fight against the North. And they have to take Ihejirika out. Today, that same man is coming to tell you that he's fighting terrorism. Then he has appointed Gumi to represent him. Well, I want to share this clip with you. Let us see the discussion that was made on Arise Television, what they have to say.
Let's begin what's trending with a comment made by Islamic cleric Sheikh Ahmad Gumi, who has condemned the push to designate bandits as terrorists. The Sheikh on Monday wrote a post on his Facebook page titled, "Declaring bandits as terrorists will come with a price." He said if President Muhammadu Buhari declares bandits as terrorists, it will mark the end of Nigeria as a sovereign and united entity. Well, according to him, once bandits are designated as terrorists, the direct foreign jihadist movements will come into force and give criminality a spiritual cover and remove the stigma of discrediting them with such crimes. Well, his comment has generated divergent views from many Nigerians. Let's take some tweets. This tweet is from Derry, who wrote, "Gumi just threatened the existence of Nigeria with terrorism, but this is not a one-off or a coincidence. He has unequivocally made his position known as the leader of terrorism, codenamed banditry. This just made mockery of terrorism charges against Sunday Igboho." While Yusuf wrote, "Chiwetala Agu simply wore a jalabiya with Biafra symbol. He was ridiculed and tossed across various security agencies like Akara. Today, Gumi is telling the world that Nigeria will be destroyed if his client bandits are proscribed as terrorists." While author and activist Reno Omakri wrote, "Sheikh Gumi never speaks for the victims, but when terrorist bandits are affected, he speaks. How long shall a government that is after Igboho and Kano continue tolerating the PR work Gumi is doing for terrorist bandits? Gumi is an inspiration to these terrorists." I mean, I think that Reno Omakri's tweet hit the point right there, Tundu.
I think it really did, yes. Not only does Sheikh Gumi never speak for the victims, he actually referred to them in a manner that I find offensive and reprehensible. He made the point that talking about who's really innocent here and then society doesn't have the moral high ground, basically saying, I hate victim blaming in any form that it takes. But he's basically saying the activities of the bandits is just desserts. Serves you right, Nigerians. This is what you get. That is reprehensible,
Absolutely.
I must stress. Now, to the other point that he made, it makes no sense, frankly. Terrorist organizations do not wait to be invited to the party. If they want to hijack the bandits and take them over and give them finance, give them training, they would do so.
Absolutely.
Look at how IMN was proscribed by the Nigerian government. Hezbollah, well, according to some, America, for instance, has been proscribed as a terrorist organization. Did Hezbollah rush to IMN to adopt them? No. So it doesn't always follow in that way. They have the same religious orientation even. It doesn't always follow. A terrorist organization can hijack bandits without them being proscribed. It's all about them being a means to an end. It's got nothing to do with proscription. We'll now give them carte blanche to now come in. That point is completely nonsensical, frankly. So apart from being offensive, he didn't even make sense.
Absolutely.
So I really wonder what the point of what he was saying was.
Rufai, I thought his comments were inflammatory at a point where everyone is calling for the bandits to be, designated as terrorists. I mean, I thought it was just the wrong time for him to even say this.
You see, when somebody does not have logic in his thinking, he becomes stupid. Try to pick out the logic in that statement. All I see is there is a logical statement. Very, very sad. Are the bandits or the terrorists not getting foreign support already in this country? Did we not hear the day President Bolaji Akemi talked about reports of helicopters dropping by and bringing weaponry to these bandits or terrorists? Did we not hear of the sophisticated weapons they have. How did they get that? Do they make anti-aircraft guns in Nigeria? Somebody must have given those guns to them. Did we not hear how Recep Tayyip Erdogan talked about Turkish groups being here? Did we not see stories of international affiliations with ISWAP already? He has nothing to say. He has nothing to say. That's why he can't make sense of what he's saying. Like Tundu said, for baseless arguments.
But why is the government treating Sheikh Gumi with kid gloves? I mean, at this point, this guy has been known
if anything is going to encourage terrorist organizations,
Yes,
it will be that kid gloves treatment.
And we are sitting on a keg of gunpowder. I keep repeating. Because you are having people like Sheikh Gumi being advocates for disintegration of the country, and you are letting them walk free. In a country where we have to bring people together, and at the same time you are arresting the likes of Igboho, you are proscribing IPOB. But people are saying this, and you can't call them to order.
Absolutely
Please, if we want to build Nigeria, we have to collectively do it. This statement is wrong.
Absolutely.
If there's anything called the height of hate speech, this is the height of hate speech.
Absolutely.
That is it. I think I cannot say it any better than they have just said. I can't say it any better than they have just said. But my problem with this conventional media is that they know the truth, but sometimes they find it difficult to say the truth. But in this very issue, they are talking about Sheikh Gumi. Everybody in that contraption called Nigeria knows that Sheikh Gumi is being supported by the government of Muhammadu Buhari. The Muhammadu Buhari we know, the late Muhammadu Buhari we know, has Sheikh Gumi as their spokesperson. And he is the person speaking for them. So when you hear Sheikh Gumi standing behind the what they call the bandit or whatsoever, the government is standing with them. And when Sheikh Gumi goes to negotiate these people, he doesn't go alone. He doesn't go alone. The DSS go with him, the police go with him, the army join him in the movement. And as he stands there, even as I'm speaking to you, DSS are securing Sheikh Gumi to make sure that he's not hurt. They are giving him security, going to everywhere freely. What does that tell you? This is the things you look at. After looking at all these issues, you be pointing hand that we have a terrorist government in Nigeria. And people think that the world is not watching. The world is watching. That was why the congressman made that very statement he made. That was why the congressman made that statement, to show you that they are watching. And every broadcast that we are doing online, it doesn't matter how little the people are, it doesn't matter how like they are hearing it. The world is hearing us. That's why when you come to a broadcast, please share the video to every platform. Share it and make your comment. Share the video. That is the way you can be able to preach your own message. The battle has just started. Now that we are on the world stage, it is no longer about Nigeria. It is no longer in a little matter. It is not about Nigerian court. This is on an international stage now. The United Nations have joined the queue. The United Nations is speaking up, calling Nigeria to come and explain, how did you bring our Sultan Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to Nigeria? Come and explain. United Nations is calling on them to come and explain. That is not enough. The congressmen in the United States are speaking up. It is because of the noise they said that we are making, the things that the miscreants are saying. You think they are not hearing us? They are hearing what we are saying. We are making our case clear. They have tried by all means possible to use their conventional media to push propaganda against IPOB. But thank God for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who knew what was coming. And he first of all built a very strong media. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu built a strong media that everybody in this planet Earth knows what is happening and what is coming. And before they get to their destination, we are already there. We know where they are going. We know where they are going. You see, when they went to kidnap Sultan Mazi Nnamdi from Kenya, all they were writing in their media or in their newspapers in Nigeria was arrest, arrest. But it wasn't arrest. Our Sultan Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was never arrested. He wasn't arrested. He was kidnapped. Kidnapped from Kenya. And he was renditioned to Nigeria. That is the truth. That is exactly the situation of things. That was exactly what happened. But people continue to peddle different kinds of story, peddle different kinds of lies, instead of saying things the way it is. But Thank God we stood our ground and we'll continue to say it, set the record straight. And today, the world is speaking on our own behalf. It is not just IPOB saying it. The world is now saying that IPOB, we are not terrorist organization. Biafrans are not terrorists. The Oduduwans who are asking for self-determination are not terrorists. They are not. And recently, I saw a video. There was another video video clip I saw where somebody, one of the so-called Northern group, was coming sluggishly to come and make a case for the bandit. He said that they are telling the government to proscribe the bandits. But he tried in that very press conference to tell us the reason why they did not want to proscribe the bandits. Because remember the Turkana jet they bought from US. The Turkana jet they bought from US gave them that order that they should never use that jet on civilians, more especially the southern part of Nigeria. They should not use it in the southern part of Nigeria because where they have the terrorists is in the north. And that jet is meant for the terrorists. So in order not to use the jets against these bandits who are the main terrorists, they decided to rename them, first of all, bandits. Using the name bandits, they don't want to call them terrorists. They don't want to call them terrorists so that they cannot use that jet on them. This is the game they are playing in Nigeria. A terrorist government run by terrorists. It is not a hearsay. It is not a story. Somebody have come on their national television to say this word that we are saying. People have said it. Their minister for communication or whatever you call him, Pantami, is a terrorist, a well-known terrorist. A well-known terrorist in the world. They know him. But he is the minister of communication in Nigeria. A security officer have come on national television to tell us there are terrorists in the government. There are terrorists in Asorok. There are terrorists as lawmakers. There are terrorists who are governors. He didn't miss word in saying it. We had all this, and yet people are folding their hands, walking about as if nothing is happening. More especially people from the southern part of Nigeria. You will still see somebody from the southern part of Nigeria supporting one Nigeria that will kill him. One Nigeria that its mission is to kill you. They have nothing to offer. They have nothing whatsoever to offer. It is so shameful to see somebody from the southern part of Nigeria still sitting down and be preparing for 2023 election. 2023 that will never come. They are only talking about 2023 to make sure that they can be able to have access to your land and kill you. Look at what is happening in the southeastern part of Nigeria as we speak. As we are speaking, people are dying on the southeastern part of Nigeria. They are killing people in Ebonyi State, killing people in Imo State. Many people are losing their life on daily. Is it Anambra State? They have shifted in all their military to Anambra State to make sure that they kill as many people as possible. But how are you going to stay alive? We are given the information how to stay alive. The only way to stay alive is to observe every instruction that has been given to you by the leadership of IPOB. The leadership of IPOB have talked about sit at home, starting from the 5th. Sit at home starting from the 5th. If you have anybody who is in Anambra State, any member of your family in Anambra State, call them and tell them to start preparing themselves for the sit at home from the 5th. 5th of November. You don't go anywhere until our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu goes to court and release. That is when we begin to move out. Starting from the 5th, prepare yourself, get your food items, anything you need to stay at home, get it. Because the DSS, they are already in Anambra State. And the people that are going to kill are people who are going to come out. Nobody's going to come into your house and shoot you. They will not come to your room to shoot you. If you want to stay alive, the best advice for you is to make sure you observe every sit at home that you've been called and stay away from anything that has to do with election. If they put the banner in your house, take it out. If they give you a vehicle that has the banner, don't ride it. A car that has the banner, don't ride it. Anything that had a banner of a political party in Anambra State, the only way to stay alive is to stay away from it. And for those who think that it's only by conducting an election that can be able to get food to feed themselves, they better go and look for a job. If you are coming there as an electoral officer, it doesn't matter where they are bringing you from. They can bring you from the north. They can bring you from anywhere. And you are going to Anambra State to officiate as an electoral officer. Before you go, write your will and keep for your family because you're not going to come back. You will not come back. It is not a threat. This is what the government of Georgia we have already put in place. This is what their DSS are going to do. And they will tell you it's an unknown gunman. They will tell you unknown gunmen. We know that the unknown gunmen are members of DSS. They have been. They have not changed. Members of DSS. They are the unknown gunmen that we are talking about that we know every day. They are the unknown gunmen. So if you want to stay alive, you better stay away from anything that has to do with the election. Why we are coming online on daily basis is to air our opinion and tell people what is happening and help people to stay alive. We will be alive to go into Biafra. It is human being that will live in Biafra, not animals, not ghosts. We want many people to survive and get into Biafra. Many people are going to die. That is true. Many people are going to be taken out. But the way for you to stay alive is for you to obey every instruction. Mazen and Kano have laid a very strong foundation to keep people alive. The only people that are going to lose their life are people who carelessly decide to play with their own life. People who decided to commit suicide by themselves. So when you decide to commit suicide, you don't blame anybody on that. You blame yourself. But for those who want to live, who want to survive, they will never come out. And when you are in your home, the DSS is not going to come to your house to shoot you. They will not. For this very Anambra state election, if you sit at home in your home, you will be safe. You will be safe until the whole thing goes out. Biafrans have spoken. That is the word the agreement the Biafran have reached, that we will not be part of anything that is called election in Biafra land, starting from Anambra state. We cannot continue to endorse our own death, that thing that kills us, the thing that makes our life the way it is, the thing that have enslaved us. They want us to put our signature and endorse it, and you want us to be part of it. We will not be part of it. Biafrans have spoken. Biafrans can never be part of any election anymore. They will never be part of it, starting from Anambra state. And anybody who is asking for any election, calling for election, you are on your own. You are on your own. You go out for election, you risk your life, you die. That is the cup you have chosen for yourself. You don't blame anybody for that. All we have to do is continue to give out the opinion and tell people what is happening when it has not happened. Nigerian government is a terrorist government. The late Muhammadu Buhari wrote this script that they are playing, and the imposter in Asorok is playing the script. They have a little time to fulfill their agenda, which is to dip their Quran into the Atlantic Ocean. They have a little time. That is why they are fighting from every corner, right, left, and center, to do everything to make sure they accomplish their mission with the little time they have. But thank God who gave us our Sule Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who has put a stop to that movement. Our Sule Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did a great job. He did a great job. He trained most of us, gave us the information that we need, led a foundation that keeps you alive, a foundation that will lead you to your freedom. Why are you running away from that foundation? It is time for us to fight. The voice of wisdom and the voice of freedom that we have in Nigeria, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho, they are being held captive as I speak to you. Sunday Igboho is being held in Benin Republic. Held in Benin Republic against his will. Sunday Igboho did not commit any offense in Benin Republic. He did not kill anybody in Benin Republic. He did not kill anybody in Nigeria. But Benin Republic decided to hold Sunday Igboho down up to today. In connivance with the politicians in the Southwest. They are not free from it. The politicians in the Southwest have a hand in what is happening to Sunday Igboho in Benin Republic. Remember when they captured Sunday Igboho, Obasanjo went to Benin Republic. We thought he was going to negotiate for him to come out. The Oni of Ife went to Benin Republic, and so many other politicians, they went to the Republic, not knowing that they were there to go and negotiate the detention of Sunday Igboho. And today, that their trip to Benin Republic is what we are seeing. Is what you are seeing. You saw the press release that the Oni of Ife made, was it 2 days ago, telling us how Buhari was telling him to warn Sunday Igboho. Warn Sunday Igboho for what? Told you to warn Sunday Igboho, and you came back and you are proud to say that he told you to warn Sunday Igboho. Warn your own brother, your own child who has not done anything wrong. He was only asking for self-determination and right for his own people. What did Sunday Igboho do wrong? Sunday Igboho went to chase away the terrorists that have been terrorizing an area, that have killed people, a known terrorist, that have caused a lot of havoc, and the government of the day kept a blind eye to it. Even the governor of the state couldn't be able to do anything. The governor of the state could not be able to do anything. Sunday Igboho was there fighting. Instead of supporting Sunday Igboho and supporting him on what he was doing, they sold him out. They sold out Sunday Igboho, their military men, their DSS, as unknown gunmen, came to the home of Sunday Igboho to kill him. They did not issue an arrest for Sunday Igboho. They did not invite Sunday Igboho to station to come and explain. They never made any move to call Sunday Igboho. All they did was to go and kill Sunday Igboho in his home. When they tried, they couldn't succeed. They killed 2 people, and they turned around and declared him wanted. You don't do that in any sane country. No sane man can do such a thing. If you want to declare somebody wanted, you have to declare him wanted or invite him first of all. If he refuses to come, then you declare him wanted. But Sunday Igboho was never invited in any station at any point in time. They only went to kill him. When they couldn't succeed, they now declared him wanted. The same thing that they did at the home of Asula Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was going for his first case, a dead case, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was going. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came on broadcast and he said he was going to Abuja 4 days to the time. He was going to Abuja to go and answer his case. And when he's going to 1 million men to Abuja to stand trial. They were so scared because they know they have nothing against Asula Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They were so scared to face him. What did they do? What they did was to send their soldiers to go and kill Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They went to kill him in his home. Somebody who is preparing to come to court. If you were planning to arrest him, or you feel he did something wrong, or he violated whatever law you have made, allow him to come to court. In the court, you can arrest him. But they were so scared. They were so ashamed and scared. They couldn't allow him to come to court. All the move they made was to go and kill him. They made a move to kill him. But Chukwu Okike Abiama saved Asula Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They were not able to kill him. In the process, 28 people were killed in the home of Asula Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is only Chukwu Okike Abiama that knows how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu survived that very ordeal. Because on that very day, I was watching it live. I was watching it because somebody was streaming it on Facebook Live. I was watching it live. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was in that house while they were doing that operation. You will see gunshot everywhere. It's only Chukwu Okike Abiama that knows how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu escaped that death. They killed 28 people who were trying to protect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that day. They killed Jack, his dog. And after doing all that, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ran for his life. We did not see him for a very long time until he appeared in Israel. And he continued the message. He continued the message of peace, message of freedom. What is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu asking for? Referendum. That is all. Grant a referendum so that people can decide their fate. That is the only thing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was asking for. Is it a crime to ask for referendum? Is it a crime to ask for referendum? It is not a crime to ask for referendum. It is not a crime. Even in their own law, it is allowed in their law of Nigeria. The useless constitution they are using allows it that you can ask for self-determination. It allows it. You can ask for self-determination. That is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was asking for. They were not patient enough to allow Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to come to court. They wanted to kill him. While he continued the message and continued to talk, they couldn't have patience. They went ahead again to go and kidnap him from Kenya, damning all consequences, knowing fully well that this is against international law. They damn all the consequences and bring him to Nigeria through rendition. And today, shamelessly, knowing fully well that they are the ones that are supposed to go on trial, they still bring Asula Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to go on trial. Go and check all the charges that are presented against him. There is no charges there. The whole charges they are bringing against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is dead on arrival. There are 7 charges. Out of that 7 charges, 5 were the old one that he was standing for. It is because the 5 were dead already. Those 5 charges were dead already. That was why they went to his house to kill him. That made him to run away the first time. Those 5 charges were dead. Then the 2 charges they are bringing now, the 2 of them are dead already. They are dead. Calling Asula Mazi Kanu a terrorist. You can see a congressman in the United States have come out to tell them that Asula Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist. For those who have not seen that clip, I am going to play that clip again so that you can see. You can see that we are not just saying it. A congressman came out and said that IPOB, indigenous people of Biafra, they are not terrorists. Let's watch.
We also see in Nigeria the selective use of counterterrorism laws to attack political opposition. Nigeria, on a daily basis, witness the impunity which is so-called Fulani herdsmen extremists who share an ethnic and religious identity with President Buhari and the Fulani elite, which now dominates all key institutions in Nigeria, attack predominantly Christian villages in the Middle Belt. State security forces, which are obligated to protect civilians, are at best indifferent or at worst complicit in the ongoing and sustained attacks. Meanwhile, the government has no qualms about labeling groups agitating for separatism, such as the indigenous people of Biafra or IPOB, as terrorists, and using this label as justification for repression. The fact that there are multiple groups now agitating for dissolution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, especially among the Igbo and Yoruba people, be they Christian or Muslim, lay directly at the feet of the Buhari government, which appears intent upon destroying the balance between the North and South and denying the many ethnic groups that have comprised Nigeria's rich mosaic representation in government. By labeling those with legitimate grievances as terrorists, and while turning a blind eye to those so-called herdsmen who are actually committing terror, the Buhari government is furthering the eventual dissolution of Nigeria. Finally,
Africa's most glamorous.
That was a U.S. congressman speaking. A U.S. congressman speaking. So it is not just we making noise online. You know, initially they were calling us mixed crowns. We don't know what we are saying. We are just making noise. We are children. We are kids. But today you can see the tide have changed. People are now speaking up from all angles. The United Nations is calling on them to come and explain what happened. How did you bring Asuda Kano to Nigeria? They are calling on Kenya and Nigeria to come and explain in the United Nations. And a congressman in the United States is telling them that our Asuda Kano is not a terrorist. IPOB is not a terrorist organization. This is one of the charges I hold against Asuda Kano. You can see the charge is dead on arrival. The other funny charge they gave Asuda Kano was that he insulted Buhari. He called Buhari a pedophile and he called him a terrorist. Everybody knows that Buhari is a terrorist. If Buhari is not a terrorist, how can Boko Haram appoint Buhari as a spokesman? At a point in time, Boko Haram appointed Buhari as a spokesperson to come and negotiate for them. That shows you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is always truthful. I was even thinking that they were going to talk about the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu saying that Buhari is dead. Have you ever asked yourself, why is it that they did not include that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that Buhari is dead in the charges? Have you sat down to ask yourself, why is it that they did not include? That is the only charge that would have been able to be meaningful if actually Buhari is still alive. If Buhari is still alive, that is the only charge they can have against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But why do you think they did never mention it in all the charges they have against Mazi Nnamdi? They didn't mention it. They never mentioned it. Instead, they were talking about irrelevant things. Irrelevant issues, that's what they were talking about. Go and check out the charges. And the following day, after the court sittings, after Mazi Nnamdi Kanu appearing in court, instead of the Attorney General to take his evidence and everything he has to go to the court and present, he came to make a media trial. As usual, he came with his media propaganda, telling us that it was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that instigated the NSAS. NSAS was not organized by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as somebody who has people at heart, who has a family who have been occupied by that country of Nigeria, he added his own voice to support what was going on. NSAS was held by Nigerians, people who were looking for a better Nigeria. They organized the NSAS. And to show you how good our Mazi Nnamdi is, to show you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not just fighting for fighting's sake. He is fighting for the betterment of every indigenous tribe in Nigeria. He is fighting for the betterment of every indigenous tribe in Nigeria. That was why in the NSAS, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu added his voice. He was speaking twice a day. He was broadcasting twice a day to make sure he encouraged people to stand up for what is right. What was the NSAS all about? NSAS was calling on government to do what they are supposed to do, to remove the SARS that are killing people, that are still killing even as I speak to you. Everything that people demanded during the NSAS, all of them are still happening. The government never addressed any one of them. They are still taking place as I'm speaking to you. Everything that people were crying about, they are still happening. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu added his voice during that NSAS. But the Attorney General came out to tell us that it was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that instigated the destruction of the home of the Oba of Lagos. That it was IPOB that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu sent to go and destroy the home of Oba of Lagos. The clips are there on social media. I didn't have any clips close here. I would have played it for you. The clips are there. What happened, what transpired in the home of the Oba of Lagos. The whole people who are speaking in that clip, they are all people from the southwest. They are Yorubas who are grieved. Yorubas who are grieved. They were the one that took the staff. They did everything there. He talked about the burden of the BRT. That was Martin Nanikan that sent IPOB to go and burn the BRT. BRT they are talking about. Everybody saw the BRT, where BRT came to offload people, came to bring hoodlums to attack the members of to attack people who were protesting. The peaceful protesters of NSAS, you saw BRT boss came to drop hoodlums. And that was the annoyance of some people, and they went and burned the BRT buses. Then he now turned it down on Asuna Mazda that told him to go and burn the BRT. Then he talked about the Dora Akunyele husband that was just killed. Mazen Nandekano was in detention then. We are holding Mazen Nandekano. He's in detention. Why this was going on? And their DSS that are operating in the southeastern part of Nigeria went and killed the husband of Dora Akunyele. They said it's unknown gunmen. Anytime you hear unknown gunmen, these are members of DSS. It is not maybe you say you are guess. It's not a guesswork. Because the only unknown gunman that have been seen in action, captured in action, after the man was shot and killed, it was discovered that he's a member of DSS. What does that tell you? Every unknown gunman you hear of is a member of DSS. He talked about the killing of Gulag in Owerri. The killing of Gulag, it was the same government that killed Gulag. The unknown gunmen, they sent the unknown gunmen to go and kill Gulag in order to frame up IPOB. But thank God that when this issue happened, the chief security of the state at that time, Imo State, which is the hopeless Uzgoduma, said that it was political assassination. It is political opponent that killed the man. You see how confused they are. He talked about the correctional center. The chief security of the state said that the people who went and broke prison in Imo State, that they were not members of IPOB. That they are, most of them are not even Biafrans. They don't speak Igbo. A chief secretary of the state was saying this, and yet they ignored it and continue to accuse Mazen Nandekana of things that are not existing. Things that are evidence are open and before you and I. But because for Nigerians being what they are, they always blame the victim. They always blame the victim instead of the oppressor. That is what they do. That is why you still see people sitting on their comfortable zone when the only man that is speaking the truth is in captivity. The only man that is standing for the truth in Nigeria is still in captivity. The only two voices we have, Mazen Nandekano, the man that started the fight since 2015, shouting and telling people, moving around from one pillar to another pole, telling people what is happening today. People refuse to listen. Today he's in captivity and people are going about their business as if nothing is happening. You see people who are protesting and sitting at home for Wasuda Mazen to be free, and you'll be talking down on them. It is so sad. That is why it is very difficult for Nigeria. Nigeria can never stand. It is impossible for Nigeria to succeed. Impossible. Impossible, because there is nobody, no single person that is a faithful Nigerian. There is nobody that is a Nigerian. Nobody. There is nobody that is a Nigerian. When you see them talking about one, nobody is a Nigerian. Nobody. There's nobody that's a Nigerian. All we have people from the southwest, the Duduan, we have the Biafrans, we have people from Arewa. These are the people we have. You narrow it down, you have people on the ethnic group, you have Igbo, you have Yoruba, you have the Ijaw, you have the Efik, you have the Edos. These are the people we don't have it. That's not in Nigeria. There's nothing like that. The only people who are pushing this agenda and this one Nigeria message are the Fulani Janjaweed. And the kind of Nigeria they are talking about is not that Nigeria that those idiots in the south are talking about. Some idiots in the south are talking about the one Nigeria sincerely from their heart. But the people they are dealing with who are running the show are not speaking about the same one Nigeria you are talking about. What they are talking about is Fulani first. That is why when you see a northern talking, they will be talking about northernization. Each time you hear about northernization, they are talking about Fulani. Because if northernization is not about Fulani, go and check every northern forum you see. The people that are leading them are Fulanis. Every northern forum you see talking, the people that are leading them are Fulanis. Any place you see somebody who is not a Fulani, you know they are using that person to capture their zone. Just like they have made the chairman of the Northern Forum is somebody from the middle belt. Somebody from the middle belt, I think the governor of Plateau State, they use him as chairman of Northern Forum, Northern governors, just to make sure they use him to capture. But we know that the middle belt are not with the North. They are no longer with them. But to push that agenda under the propaganda, they begin to choose those people. Northernization, that is what they are talking about. And when you see them talking about one Nigeria, it is still about Fulani. It is not about you. It's not about the Ududwa. It's not about Biafrans. It is not about the Edos. It's not about the Middle Belt. It is about Fulani. The same thing when it comes to religion. You see, when we are talking about Islamization of Nigeria, they are not even trying to Islamize Nigeria with the real Islam we are talking about. It is not about it. It is about the Fulani kind of Islam. That is what they are bringing forward. Because in the southern part of Nigeria, we have Muslims. In the southern part of Nigeria, we have Muslims who are living peacefully with their family. You can go to some family, we see more Muslims and Christians. They even intermarry each other. But you can never see that in the life of a Fulani. That is the kind of agenda they are pushing forward. The Taliban kind of Islam, what is happening in Afghanistan, is what they are bringing to Nigeria. That is why we are saying you have to break it up. If you don't break it up, it will consume all of us. Everybody have to add their voice. The only way to save life in this contraption called Nigeria, the only way to save life is to break it up. Once you break it up, you break the interest. The Northerners will go to the north and practice their Sharia the way they want it. Practice it, nobody's going to disturb you. Then the people in the southern part of Nigeria will practice their secular system peacefully without any distraction. If I want to travel the north, I know that I'm going to an Islamic nation. Then I will obey all their laws over there. If you're coming to the south, you know you're coming to the secular system where you'll be free and do what you want to do. So you don't have to begin to put us in a place just forcing people into something that they did not bargain for. You tell me that we have a nation that is called one so your so-called one Nigeria. In the so-called one Nigeria, they have different kind of constitution from all angles. They are not operating one constitution. They are not. Some part of the country are practicing Sharia and some are not practicing it. How can you exist in such a country? The law is favorable to some people and to some people it's not favorable. How can somebody improve or develop in such kind of a situation? And the most dangerous and deadly thing is about Nigeria is that every evil that is happening in Nigeria, every evil, every destruction happening in Nigeria is in their constitution. It is being constitutionalized in their constitution. It is their constitution. Everything you are seeing. That is why if you see somebody talking about a better Nigeria tomorrow, he's a dreamer. That person is a dreamer. You are a dreamer. Everybody talking about one Nigeria, even the activists that you see them talking about a better Nigeria tomorrow, they know very well there will never be any better Nigeria. That is why our brother Showore, who has been talking about revolution, I applaud Showore very well. Showore is doing a great work. He's saying what he has to say. He tried to go into the politics to see if he can be able to change it. At the end of the day, he saw clearly that there is no amendment. You can never be able to rescue Nigeria. When he came out and called for revolution, which is the right thing to call for, because our Sudamazin Nadikano is calling for that revolution. But who is listening? Nigerians are so scared to go for revolution. Nigerians are so scared. Showore have been trying to carry everybody along to go for revolution. You see what is happening to him? Today, they hold him captivity in Abuja. Showore cannot move out of Abuja. Simply because he is standing for revolution. Showore cannot move out of Abuja because he's talking about revolution. That is the situation of things. All this is our Sudamazin Nandekano that we are talking about. Our Supreme Damazin Nandekano has spoken up for this one Nigeria, talked about how to make Nigeria better. The videos are there. At the end of the day, people demonize him. It didn't work. He didn't work. Even people were telling him when he was talking about Biafra, people were telling him, why not carry everybody along? Why not speak about how can you carry everybody along? How do you intend to carry an Hausa man along to protest with you? How do you intend to change an Hausa man to protest with you? How do you want to carry an Hausa man along to go and do revolution with you? How possible it is? On what planet will you convince an Hausa man to go and do a protest with you for revolution? Where? It is impossible. You can't do that. Look at NSAS, for example. During the NSAS, the whole people in the South came together and they were protesting about NSAS. When you go to the North, the Northern youths in the North, we are embracing the SARS. They say, bring the SARS to us, that they want the SARS. This is a legitimate request people were making for their so-called better Nigeria. But what did they not do? They not on their own section. They were asking for the so-called terrorists to be brought to them, that they should give them the SARS. They want it. Meanwhile, in the southern part of Nigeria, the youth are protesting against every ill in that very country. After all those protests that went, you see how it went. Today, nobody is talking about it. Every demand that NSAS people put on the table, not even one have been met. Not even one have been met. Even the disbandment of the SARS we're talking about, they never disband SARS. They only changed the name. SARS are now in operation more than ever. And they are still harassing people. How do you intend to survive in that kind of a country? How do you think you can ever make such a country better? From which angle are you going to start to make it better? The only way for us to survive and be able to have our life is self-determination. Begin to speak up. If you have not started speaking, begin to speak up from your own angle. If you have any contribution to make on this very program, you can join the program, follow the link. I'm going to post the link again. You can click on the link and come in, then make your contribution. You can click on the link, you come in and make your contribution. This is a fight for all of us. Each and every one of us will have a contribution to make. We are in this fight together. It is not about one person. It is not about two people. It is about every one of us. Every one of us. Your voice will add a lot of things to the struggle. You need freedom. I need freedom. It's not just about me. It is not just about our Asuda Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Left to our Asuda Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he has a good life already. He is a prince. He's a British citizen. What else will he be looking for? What else will he be looking for? But he left all this, sacrificed all this for the freedom of the indigenous people in the contraption called Nigeria. Today, he's in captivity. What are you doing to make sure that he's being released? What are you doing to make sure that he's being released? Instead of joining issue, instead of supporting him, instead of adding your own voice to say meaningful things so that he can be able to release, you are fighting against him. You are fighting against him. It is so sad where we have gotten to. It is so sad, but we can never give up. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter how they try. It doesn't matter the propaganda they bring from all angles, from east, west, north, and south, from right, left, and center. We will continue. Our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have laid a strong foundation for all of us. He have laid a foundation that we will follow for us to get our freedom, for us to succeed in whatever we are doing, and we will continue to follow that step. We're going to go on a short break. I'll play this song that we use for Asuda Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on a very short clip I'm going to play. After playing it, then if you want to contribute, come to the stage. Click on the link, then you can join the stage and add your own opinion.
Win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's a three. Unapoli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's a three. Unapoli Mary Nnamdi bu onyedu aimo. O Mary woni nizu biroya. Abakare Mamanda Ora Unapuri Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's a three. Unapuri Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's a three. Unapuri Mary Nnamdi.
Yeah, thank you everybody that is joining. Please click on the link. If you want to join, click on the link. You click on the link, you can come in. Click on the link, you come in and make your contribution. Any contribution you have to make, you can come in, click on the link and join the discussion. It's time to add your own opinion. Nobody knows it all. We are putting our heads together to make sure we get out of this very trouble that we are all in. More especially the bad name that they are giving us, trying to give us a name that is not ours. We are not terrorists. Members of IPOB are not terrorists. They are not. And thank God today the world is making a case for us. We are not terrorists. We are not terrorists. We are fighting the just cause. Our Sudamasi Nandekano is not a terrorist, and the world knows about it. How can you call an organization that have branches all over the world, an organization that have branches all over the world, including Britain? Britain have given asylum to every member of IPOB, and so many other European countries, giving them asylum. How can any man in his right senses be calling such a nation a terrorist organization? IPOB is a nation. It's a nation. They have branches all over the world. There is no part of the world you go, you not see a member of IPOB. And you come to Nigeria itself, the whole Southeastern region, they are all members of IPOB. When I mean Southeastern region, I mean the old Southeastern region, the South, and the Southeast present. They are all members of IPOB. They are all members of IPOB. Nobody's exempted. And you wake up and you call them terrorists for doing nothing, just to demonize them and kill them. It's not going to allow this to happen. And thank God today that the world is speaking, asking questions. That same question that we have been asking. That question that we are asking that made them to call us miscreant, say that we don't know what we are doing. Today, the world is hearing, and the world is asking the same question. They are asking the same question. So, we will continue to add our opinion, continue to say it the way it is, continue to set the record straight. But the most important thing you have to know, if you have anybody living in the southeastern part of Nigeria, tell them that we are going to sit at home from the 5th until the day our Sulaiman Ghana will be released in the court on the 10th. We're going to start sitting at home. It doesn't matter what they do, it doesn't matter what they say. They cannot change this decision. We have chosen our path, and that we shall follow. We have chosen our path. Nobody can stop us. Nobody can stop IPO. Nobody can force us to participate or to continue to endorse that thing that kills us. Nobody can stop it. Nobody can make us to continue to endorse the killing of our own people. We cannot continue to endorse it. That is it. You can see what our brother wrote there, that he got international protection for IPOB. That is it. That is what is happening. That is what is happening. IPOB is recognized all over the world. There's no how can somebody in his right senses will come and tell us that such an organization is a terrorist organization? How can somebody in his right senses? These are the things they are presenting before our Sindamazin as cases. Cases that are dead on arrival. And they know it. They know it. That is why instead of going to their court, even in their own court, they are scared of coming to their own court. They are very scared of coming out on their own court. They are scared. Instead of coming in their own court to make a case, they result into propaganda. They result into all manner of propaganda, speaking from all corners of their mouth. Speaking from all corners of their mouth. How can anybody in his or her right senses be allowing that? The whole world knows that IPOB is a peaceful organization. Very, very peaceful. In all angles, in all sections. A peaceful organization. They have not killed anybody. They have not abducted anybody. They have not asked ransom from anybody. They have not, from even the ESN that have been established, ESN have never killed a single innocent man. There has never been any single innocent man that ESN have killed. They have not abducted anybody to collect ransom. It has never happened. Since ESN was established, Mazin Nandekano, the brokers he made before the day ESN was launched, he said it, that their operation is in the bushes. And since that day till now, ESN are fighting in the bushes. They are still operating and fighting in the bushes. That is where they are doing their job. They are not fighting against any innocent person. They are not fighting against any innocent person. They have not killed any innocent man. But instead of supporting them, instead of people supporting them, or more especially the politicians for the southern part of Nigeria, instead of those so-called elites supporting them, they are demonizing them. It's so shameful. It's so shameful. The worst politicians we have in the country called Nigeria are from the southeastern part of Nigeria. They are from the southeastern. The cowards we can talk about are from the southeastern part of Nigeria. You see, recently I saw a write-up where they said that Ohanes Ndibo came and said that why are we sitting at home for Asina Mazidan? He had just spent only some few months in prison. That Mandela was in prison for 27 years before he got freedom. And South Africa did not sit at home. Why are we sitting at home for Mazidan for just a few months? These are the kind of people that are running affairs, people you call elders. We are in 21st century. We are in 21st century, and in this period that we are, you don't keep any innocent man for more than 24 hours. You don't detain any innocent man for more than 24 hours. You cannot detain any innocent man for more than 24 hours, let alone holding somebody for months, and you expect us to fold our hands and watch you. You see, when this so-called Ohanes Ndibo speak, then you will know where they're coming from. That they are part of the people that kidnapped Asuna Mazidan Kanu with the intention of keeping him in prison. That was their intention. These are the idiots whom Mazidan Kanu himself is fighting to get prestige for them. Mazidan Kanu is fighting for this Ohanes Ndibo to make them have regard in the country called Nigeria. But eventually, they don't appreciate it. Look at how they were treated when they came to court. Look at how they were treated. They were seated outside. They were seated outside. How I wish that they were standing shoulder to shoulder with Asuna Mazidan Kanu. They would have gotten more respect than they would have gotten enough respect. Mazidan Kanu gave them the leeway for them to get everything they want. When you're going to a negotiation, you have to hold something strong in your hand to negotiate. You have to have something tangible in your hand when you're going for negotiation. But they were negotiating for their so-called restructuring. Today, where is restructuring? You are going empty-handed to go and negotiate with the Fulani Janjaweed. Empty-handed, you are going to negotiate with Fulani Janjaweed for restructuring. Today, who is talking about restructuring? Nobody is talking about restructuring anymore. Not people from the southwest, not people from the south-south, not people from the southeast. Nobody from none of them, all those so-called elders. They are so-called restructuring that they used to disturb the agitators. It has died a natural death. And the agitators are still standing on their ground, demanding for referendum, which is the right thing to do. But I thank God that the things are taking shape now. It is no longer business as usual. I saw a post some time ago that the Igbo lawyers in that Janjaweed country, the Igbo lawyers in that contraption called Nigeria, they have come together to sue for self-determination for Biafra. Now on lawsuit, they say they want it legal. The Igbo lawyers in Nigeria now have sued the federal government that they want self-determination and they must conduct referendum. They must conduct referendum. That is the right way to go. And thank God that they are waking up. Thank God they are waking up. It is no longer business as usual. Our student ambassador can have laid a strong foundation. He has laid a strong foundation that everybody must key into. He has laid a strong foundation that everybody must key into. And we all must key in. Everybody have a role to play. More especially at this point in time when the whole struggle has gone international. It is no longer about Nigeria is the dead case. Nigeria is no longer our case. What we have been fighting all along is to get the attention of the world. And today, the world are setting their searchlight on Nigeria. That is what we have been fighting for. That is a great achievement. With the foundation of Asuna Mazidan Kanu, with the media that Asuna Mazidan Kanu have created, have now turned things around. And today, the whole world is focusing on Nigeria, talking about self-determination for the Biafrans. That is a great achievement. They called him a noisemaker. They called us miscreants. We don't know what you are saying. But today, you can see the world is asking questions. How did you bring Asuna Mazidan Kanu to Nigeria? Go and explain to the UN. You have to answer that question first of all before you begin to talk about if you have a case against him or not. When our lawyer Aloy Ejako came out and said that it is Nigerian government that are going on trial, not Asuna Mazinandekano. People don't understand what he was saying. But that is exactly the truth. Nigerian government are the one that are going on trial, not Asuna Mazinandekano, because he has not committed any offense. He cannot say the only people that have committed an offense that have been seen, an international crime, is the state of Nigeria and Kenya. Nigeria state and Kenya, they are the one that have committed an offense, and they have to explain to the world how did you come about this? How did you bring this man to your country? How? They have to explain. You have to explain, how did you bring him to your country? That is where we are today. And that is why every Biafran have to begin to add your voice. Use your own platform, share videos. When you see videos of agitators who are speaking about the real situation, share it. It is not about gossiping. When you see somebody gossiping in his or her channel, don't share any video. This video is not about gossip. And we are not here to fight against ourselves or fight against our brothers. We have one common enemy, which is the Fulani Janjaweed. We are standing shoulder to shoulder with our Ududua brothers, asking for the same thing: self-determination, freedom for every indigenous tribe in the country of Nigeria. That was what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu fought for. That was the foundation Mazi Nnamdi Kanu led, and we are standing on that very foundation, and we will continue to follow it. We will continue to follow it. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what we do. We will continue. We will never relent in our effort. You and I have a role to play. You have your own role to play. You have to add your own voice. Every single thing we are doing online is adding to the force. It's adding. When something happens in your area, speak about it. Don't keep silent. As I'm speaking to you, Fulani people are still killing people in Ebonyi State. But the governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi, is hiding it. About 4 days or 5 days ago, people were killed in Ebonyi State. 30 people, more than 30 people were killed in Ebonyi State. And they covered it up. You didn't see it in the news. Remember, already they have threatened the media. There was a time they threatened the media to stop reporting about insecurity in Nigeria. And that is exactly what they are doing. The media can no longer report what is happening in Nigeria. As we speak, people are still dying. They are killing a good number of people. And yet, nobody is reporting it. People are going about their business as if nothing is happening. But that is a real situation. That is what is going on. We cannot stop talking. We cannot stop speaking. We will continue to say it the way it is. Continue to set the record straight. We continue to set the record straight. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. It doesn't matter what anybody is saying. You have a role to play in this very struggle that we are in. And we cannot be silent. This is not the time to be silent. They thought that maybe when they hold Asuna Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or when they come to court and flash him in the court, then we will not relax. Flashing him in the court have given us more strength to ask for more. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not supposed to be in detention. Not even for 1 day. He's not supposed. Showing him what we are asking for is not bring him to court and show us. We are asking for the unconditional release of Asuna Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and he must be released. He has not committed any crime known to man in this planet Earth. He has not committed any crime. He's whiter than white, whiter than snow. Go and check him from head to toe. You will not find any fault in him. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has no fault. They have no charges against him. He has not committed any crime. He didn't commit any crime in Kenya. He traveled to Kenya with his British passport. He was stamped into Kenya. He was there conducting his business until they went and kidnapped him. Kenya began to deny that they didn't kidnap him. They were denying initially. They denied. They said they didn't see him. Then they connived with Nigeria to rendition him into Nigeria. They sent him to Nigeria through extraordinary rendition. And today he's in DSS. After so many tortures. If not that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is on assignment and destined to be alive, they would have killed him. But being that somebody who is on a mission, somebody whom Chukwu Kagabiama have given an assignment, I didn't give him the assignment. You didn't give him the assignment. It is Chukwu Kagabiama that appointed him to go for this mission. And nobody, no man born of a woman can cut off the assignment. He must accomplish it from A to Z. He's the last man we have. After Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, there will be none again. He is the last man we have, and we must do everything possible to make sure that they release him unconditionally. Mainly because he has not committed any crime known to man anywhere. Not in the UK, not in Kenya, not in Nigeria. He has not committed any crime. Instead, the people who are prosecuting him are the people who have committed crime against him. They committed crime against him. They committed crime against him, and yet they are holding him down. And you think we can be silent? We can be going about our business as if nothing happened? You've just touched the tail of a tiger. Even by showing him to us in a court, they just touched the tail of a tiger. At least we are happy that our Sinama's Ghana is hal and hate. Very, very strong, very, very energetic. And he never relents in what he's saying. He is still standing on his ground, saying the same thing. It is Biafra or death. Referendum. Referendum. He has never been calling for war. He is only calling for referendum for self-determination. Self-determination through referendum. That is what he has been calling for. The same thing is what Igboho was standing for. Igboho never killed anybody. You can see recently, the man whom, because of him, Igboho is in trouble today. The man whom, because of him, they want to kill Igboho by offer, a terrorist, Wakili. Do you know that Wakili have escaped from prison? The Fulani Janjaweed have gone to prison to rescue Wakili. They have rescued Wakili from prison, the very person who caused the problem that made Sunday Igboho to be on the run. Because Sunday Igboho went after a terrorist who is killing people in their area. Because of that man, a terrorist that everybody knows, even the governor of the state knows, testified to that. The terrorist became above the governor. They couldn't do it. Sunday Igboho on his own went and did the assignment and drove him away from the place. That is why they want him dead. Today, that man have escaped from prison. The Fulani have gone to prison to rescue him. And the state governor have not come out to end to this responsibility. They don't want to speak about it. They only told us that some prisoners escaped from that very place. They don't want to name them. They don't want to name them. And this is what they have been doing. This is the lie, the script they have been playing from every angle, from all corners, right, left, and center. They continue to play this script. But unfortunately, you still see Nigerians falling in line with this false information. Nigerians have fallen in line with this false information, embracing it at any point in time. More especially people from the southern part of Nigeria. You'll be wondering, why will somebody from the southern part of Nigeria wake up and begin to call himself a one Nigerianist? If not that the person is sick in the head. If not that the person is sick in the head. Or the person is either the person is corrupt, a fraudster, a criminal. They are the only people you can see speaking of because this one Nigeria pays their bill with the blood of the innocent. The one Nigeria is paying their bill with the blood of the innocent. They don't care. They don't even care about their own unborn children because everything they are doing will surely come back to their children. They don't care about that. They continue to take life indiscriminately. They begin to kill people and do all manner of things, conduct all manner of evil. They don't care what will happen tomorrow or next tomorrow. All they care is about themselves. This is where we have gotten to. This is how decayed Nigeria is. This is how decayed the contract of core Nigeria is. When you talk about it, people will think you are just making noise. You don't know what you're saying. You don't know what you're talking about. But what we are saying is exactly what is happening. That's exactly what is happening. We will not stop talking. You have to add your own voice wherever you are. The reason why we have to talk more now is that the challenge has gone international level. It is no longer about Nigeria. We have to continue to bring out information. If you have any information that is going to reveal things that are happening in that country called Nigeria, bring them out. Bring them out and begin to speak about them. Don't keep them to yourself. Don't keep them to yourself. If you see anything where something is happening, if you see something, say something. If you see something, everything you are saying, you are putting in social media, the international community are saying it. Don't think we are playing. All this is we are doing. Don't think it is not play. We are talking about reality. It is not a propaganda. It is not a propaganda. What we are saying is what is happening in the country from Nigeria. The terrorists have taken over the country. The country is in the hand of the terrorists. That is why a terrorist will be bold to come on national television to begin to defend the indefensible. And people think it's okay. People think it's okay. But that is not okay. How can we continue to endorse criminality? In this very contraption that we are talking about, a senator A senator have come to the House of Senate and told them that Nigeria will never ever know peace as long as they continue to use the constitution they are using. That Nigeria will never know unity. Nigeria will never know progress, and Nigeria will never be together as long as they continue to use the constitution. In the House of Assembly, an elderly man said it. A senator. They ignored it. Today, people are still defending that constitution. That constitution that they know will never bring peace. They know it will never bring unity. They will never bring any improvement in the economy. They are still using it. And they are promoting it. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? It tells you that the country can never, ever survive. It can never, ever survive. The only people who are still playing the script as if it's well for them is because they are being impelled on the blood of the innocent. And how long will you continue to kill the innocent? How long will you continue to kill the innocent that you think that Chukwu Okabiam will be silent? Chukwu Okabiam will not be silent. Our Supreme Damazi Nnamdi Kanu have sent out a very wonderful message. He has been crying for a very long time. Doing his assignment, he has done every work he has to do. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has given you and I the tools that we need for us to have our freedom. He has given us the tools that we need for us to have a sane nation. The tools that we need for us to get our freedom. Nobody is going to hand you your freedom in a platter of gold. It doesn't happen anywhere. Just like people who are complaining about the sit at home. They complain about the sit at home, that when you are sitting at home, what are they going to eat? What are you going to do this? What are you going to do that? Complain about sit at home. You complain about everything. Freedom does not come cheap. Freedom doesn't come cheap. There are prices you pay in freedom. Some of the countries you see today, where so many people are enjoying and flaunting all manner of wealth and all manner of things, those countries fought. They fought for their freedom. People died. People sacrificed. So anything you see happening in Biafra land today is what is bound to happen. Remember what our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. They will kill us. We will kill them. But at the end of the day, Biafra will surely come. As for people who will die, more people are going to die. That is why we are coming online on a daily basis to give you information on how to stay alive. If you get the information, you share it with other people, share it with your family. This is how to stay alive. How do you stay alive? By listening to every instruction that is being given by the leadership of IPOB, more especially in the sit at home. When they tell you to sit at home, please sit at home. They tell you do not participate in election. Please don't participate in election. That is the only way to stay alive. You can see the government is ready to kill at any point in time. They have already installed their unknown gunmen in the southern part of Nigeria, and they are killing indiscriminately. The people who are falling victim of unknown gunmen are people who are going out, not people who are in their room. Any day you decide to disobey and go your own separate ways that nothing is happening, they will use you as an example. They will use you as an example. As I'm telling you now, the DSS have assigned people who are going to kill some people in Anambra State in order to demonize our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, in order to use it as a case against our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They have no case against him. They have no evidence against him. They are still looking at evidence as I'm speaking to you. The Nigerian government is still looking for evidence against us. And what kind of evidence are they doing? By killing innocent people. They kill innocent people indiscriminately, foolishly, in order to frame as American, whom Almighty God knows Chukwu Okabiam already have made innocent. The world are seeing it and they are speaking up for him that he is innocent. But these people will never stop. They will continue to kill and kill. That is why we are telling you, stay at home. Stay away from election. For you to save your life, it doesn't matter the language you speak. It doesn't matter your ethnic group. It doesn't matter your religion. If they take you as an adult staff or electoral staff or whatever to come and conduct election in Anambra State, please run for your life. Run for your life. Do not participate in anything that has to do with election in Anambra State. Do not participate. Do not participate. You are risking your own life. As soon as you appear there, you are risking your own life at risk of your life. They have done it before. They will do it again, and they will continue to do it until we are separated from these people. That is where we are fighting on a daily basis to separate from them and make sure that so many people save their life. Because it is human being that will live in Biafra. It is human being that will live in Biafra. You see, they push their propaganda. After killing our brothers and sisters, they will turn around and tell us that we are the one killing ourselves. Biafrans don't kill Biafrans. We don't kill ourselves. Biafrans don't kill Biafrans. You can see so many people who are demonizing our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who are talking evil, who have provoked our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to his knees. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have not taken the life of anyone. Do you think that if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu want to take people's life, he cannot do that? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have the capacity to appoint people to take life if they want to take life. But with all the way people are demonizing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, calling him all manner of name, insulting him, he has never decided to take away anybody. He never killed anybody. He never killed anybody. Up till now, as I'm speaking to you, he has never killed anybody. But they will come with their propaganda that Biafrans are killing Biafrans. Oduduans are killing Oduduans, which is a lie. The Biafrans are not killing Biafrans. The Oduduans are not killing each other. The people who are doing the killing are the members of DSS, the Janjaweed. They took members of Boko Haram, gave them uniform, and pushed them down to the southern part of Nigeria. And since then, southern part of Nigeria have never known peace anymore. Southern part of Nigeria, which is the most peaceful part of Nigeria, as we know, more especially the southeast, the most peaceful part of Nigeria that we know, being the most peaceful, yet it is the most militarized area in that country called Nigeria, just to intimidate the innocent people. This is what we have been facing. The so-called elders have been there. They have been there for a very long time. They are not making case for anybody. They fold their hand and they are not making case for anybody in the southeastern part of Nigeria. They are not making any case. They were there. They proscribed their own children, proscribed every single soul in the old southeastern region. These governors came together and proscribed them. Up to today, when they are talking about us, they are still calling us proscribed, proscribed, proscribed. But in the northern part of Nigeria, you see them making a case for bandits. The terrorists we know, the main terrorists we know, we see them making a case for terrorists. They first of all come with the drama. Come with a drama that members of Boko Haram are repenting in large scale, that they are coming back to the town. I made a video that time and I told people that this is a game. That they are coming to the town because they have finished the assignment. That was why members of Boko Haram was coming to town. They have no more assignment in the north. They have captured the north completely, and now they are moving to town so they can be able to integrate in the town and then shift them to the south. That was the intention, and that's exactly what they are doing. They have no assignment in the north anymore. The whole north have been occupied. They have been taken over by terrorists. In a section where more than 5,000 schools have been shut down, how many are remaining? How many schools are remaining? And the closing of schools, shutting down school is the main objective of the Boko Haram. They played into it and they agreed. They are shutting down all the schools. The ones that failed to shut down and they are opening, they are being kidnapped. The students are being kidnapped. Even as I speak to you, students are still in captivity. And the governors are doing not go. People in the north, those so-called elites, they don't not do anything about it. They are focusing on the southern part of Nigeria. Focusing on the south. Where you have peace, that is where they are focusing, to destabilize it. They made case for their Boko Haram. They brought them back. They say they are rehabilitating them. They are giving them money that was supposed to use to trace sensible people. They give them money. They gave them uniform and bring them back into the community. Send them to the southern part there to keep people. You saw the video of the custom man, the custom recruit, the person they recruited in the custom with 3-star. A custom officer, they gave 3-star. When they were giving him 3-star, you saw how the man was behaving. Somebody who doesn't know his left and right, he can't even salute. He doesn't know what the custom is all about. They gave him 3-star. A terrorist was given a 3-star. And they will go and put him in a head where he's going to be controlling people from the southern part of Nigeria who were so educated, who spent their lifetime studying things that had to do with custom, who went to study, who went to school to improve themselves. They will put them in head to begin to rule them. That is one of the destruction this contraption called Nigeria is doing to the brain of people in the southern part of Nigeria. They are destroying our talent. Those of us from the south, these people are destroying our talent by all means possible. And this destruction of talent is institutionalized. They institutionalize it, the destruction of talent. They have come together to destroy our talent. Do you know how they destroy our talent? When you talk about this thing they call, what do they call it? Quota system. You hear about the quota system. You hear about the quota system. That quota system is an institutionalization of fraud in Nigeria to make sure that nobody succeeds. That is what quota system means. In a quota system where you would take an uneducated person and put him ahead of educated person. On which planet of this world does such a kind of thing happen? Only in Nigeria. In a quota system, they introduced that knowing fully well that South and North they are not in competition in anything. The South and the North, we are not in competition in anything. We are not a match. There are no match for us. In any angle, talk of anything you can think of. Anything you can think of, they are not matched to us. Even in common sense, ordinary common sense that people have, leave education aside, in common sense, the North is not a match to us. But they introduced a quota system. In this quota system, they will make it compulsory that whatever position a Southerner have attained by struggle, by effort, that a Northerner will attain to that position without a struggle. That is what quota system means. That has made these people are so lazy that they cannot improve themselves. Do you ask yourself, the man they call Buhari, who the late Buhari, who somebody is representing now in Asorok, playing his script. Buhari ruled Nigeria as a military officer. After Buhari was taken away from military, Buhari never went back to school to go and improve himself. Have you gone anywhere to hear that Buhari wrote a book? Have you gone anywhere to hear that Buhari went to school, get back to school? Have you seen any organization that Buhari formed after he left the military? He never improved himself. But that is the man they went and brought and painted him Mr. Integrity. The man that doesn't have any single integrity. They brought him back to come and rule people who are intelligent. And Southerners, for being what they are, being that Southern and the brain of the South have been damaged, a professor accepts to be an assistant to somebody who doesn't have a common entrance exam certificate. Somebody who doesn't have school cert, a professor is serving under him. That is what the quota system does. In a quota system, your child that got a cutoff mark of 300 will not be admitted in university. Your child that got a cutoff mark of 300 will not admitted in university, but another one that could not be able to score up to 50, was given a scholarship to study. Even in the study, go and look at his project in all his study, whether he passed or not, just for the fact that he had agreed to go to school. They will continue to push him through the quota system until he will graduate and become a nuisance. And before you know it, they will make him the head of a department and then take somebody from the South who has spent all his lifetime to study to assist the Northern. And while the Southern is doing the job, the Northern will be taking the credit. While the Southern will be doing the job, the Northern will be taking the credit. You see how these people are stealing from us right, left, and center from all angles. They stole our economy. It is not enough for them. When they are talking about Nigeria, everything that hold one Nigeria together, that made one Nigeria what it is, that made them to talk about Nigeria, is gotten from the southern part of Nigeria. The North have nothing whatsoever to offer. The North, they have nothing to offer. You see when they were talking about VAT, the VAT they were talking about, when they talk about Kaduna being able to sponsor themselves at Kano, go and check. The factory in Kaduna that is raising they making to get enough money in VAT is a country that produces alcohol. And these are the people that is burning, destroying alcohol, that they want Sharia. They are the people. Go to the Kano also. The people who are boasting the economy of Kano are people from the southern part of Nigeria. Then you come to mineral resources. The whole mineral resources they are relying on is in the southern part of Nigeria. They have milk it and suck it and drink it until they got tired. And they are still doing it. The few mineral resources they have in the north, they are holding it to themselves. They are holding it to themselves. You dare not talk about it. Look at the Zamfara gold. Do you know that Nigeria is producing gold in a large quantity? Nigeria has gold in a large quantity. But because that gold is in the northern part of Nigeria, they don't even talk about it. You will never see, they will tell you that this is the amount they realize in gold. They will never talk about it. They mine the gold. They sell it by themselves. The state government mine it and share it. They do whatever they want with the money. But they will come to the south, they will drill our oil, take other mineral resources, they will go and sell it and share the money around. Stealing from the south from all angles. In that Zamfara gold, you saw who will believe that a jet will be flying all the way, will have a rail, a tarmac in the bush to move all the way from Zamfara to the UK. That is show you the part Britain is also playing in that very fraud that is happening. That is the part the UK is playing. They use an aircraft all the way from Zamfara. They will fly the gold away from the country. Nobody knows about it until it was revealed. And up to today, nothing was done about it. When they gave a no-fly zone in Zamfara, people were surprised. Why would you give a no-fly zone in just a state? How many flights is going to Zamfara? What are they doing with it? Not knowing that there is something happening in that very Zamfara state when they were battling for the gold. And now that they have settled themselves, the northern elite have settled themselves with the gold, they are no longer talking about it. They are no longer discussing it. They are no longer discussing it. But they are suppressing the South, making sure that anything that exists in the South, that they will take share in it and they will be part of it. How long shall we continue on that path? How long shall we continue on that path? For how long shall we continue to beg these people for something that is ours? For how long shall we continue to beg for peace? Unity beggars. You see people from the South begging for unity. For how long will you continue to beg for unity? Begging for unity, begging for peace for somebody who doesn't want to have peace with you. Everything you bring on the table to make the country better, they will tell you no. They don't want it. The people of the South talked about restructuring to make the country better and make people develop at their own space. They said no. They tried all manner of things to make sure they destroyed the restructuring. Today, nobody talked about restructuring. Nobody talking about restructuring. We talked about the open grazing. After we have discovered that the open grazing is the source through which these Fulani Janjaweed are coming into places to kill innocent people. It is not a my hearsay. It is not a propaganda. This is the means they use to come and kill. They will take their cow in the name of coming to graze. Then they will enter into a city and kill all the people in that village. It has been happening time and time again. And then the governors in the South came together and said, we do not want open grazing on our side anymore. All hell break loose. All hell break loose. Even people you think are sensible came online and begin to attack the Southern governors for making a move for their lifetime. One single move that they made to speak together. They came out and begin to demonize the South, begin to demonize, talk, why should they do this? Even people you respect, you think that they will not be able to say such a thing. They begin to attack the southern part of Nigeria. And instead of stopping that open grazing, the presidency came out and even formed a committee to go and restore the grazing route in 21st century. In 21st century, to go and bring back the grazing route. Grazing route of how many centuries ago? During the time of Ottoman Danfodio. Is only a senseless person or somebody who has an ulterior motive that will make that move. Only somebody that has an ulterior motive will make such kind of a move. No sane person will make such a move. And people are still going about their business. You still see some people from the southern part of Nigeria still talking about one Nigeria. They came with their Ruga, that they want Ruga. You want to establish a settlement for the Fulanis in every state in Nigeria. How come Fulani become the most important things to talk about in Nigeria? Fulanis, how many are they? You and I know that the major tribes we have in Nigeria right from the onset are the Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba, the Wazobia. But today, nobody's talking about Wazobia anymore. We are talking about Fulani. Up to the extent of their government, forcing them to put members of Fulani in every government in every state. That is why in Anambra state, Willie Obiano will come and tell me that a member of Pieti Allah is in his government. He didn't just say it, and he put a bounty on the head of every Biafran, 500,000. What a shame. That is how decayed our politicians are. Obiano could not go and ask them in Asorok, how many members of Ohanese are in Kaduna state government? How many members of Ohanese are in Sokoto state government? How many members of Ohanese are in Kano state government? You didn't ask of that. But in our own side, Hope Uzodinma have Mieti Allah in his government. Will Obiano have Mieti Allah in his government, and they take decision on what happens. You talk about banning open grazing. The southeastern governors will tell you that they are not part of it. Who are they serving? Who interest are they serving? They are serving the Janjaweed. Everything you bring about, even when the people from the southwest are coming together, enacting a law against the open grazing, the southeastern governors are drawing their legs. Some of them say they are not even part of it. I heard it is recently, I heard that Obiano had just passed the bill. After much pressure, Obiano had just passed the bill, which I'm not sure if he did. They talked about VAT. That very VAT discussion. Southeastern governors are supposed to be the first people to raise that VAT issue, to be able to use the money to develop themselves. But you see, Umahi telling you that he's not part of the VAT. You see the other one in Imo State running away from it. These people are not representing us because we didn't appoint them. We didn't vote for them. That is why we said there will be no more election in Biafra land. Let them go ahead and continue to appoint. That is what they have been doing. Each and every point in time, they have been appointing people to the southeastern part of Nigeria. They appoint people. They appoint whom they like at every given time to the southeastern part of Nigeria. And we cannot continue to endorse that. We will not continue. They have been appointing them. Let them go ahead and continue to appoint people. Continue to put whoever they want. They want to threaten us and say, if you don't conduct election, they're going to put somebody whom they like. They're going to put anybody they like. They have been doing it. But for us to go and put a signature to that criminality is what we do not want to participate in anymore. We don't want to be part of that criminality. It doesn't matter the way they do it. It doesn't matter the way they try it. It doesn't matter the way they are trying to put it, the language they use, the grammar they use to deceive people. We do not want to be part of that criminality anymore. We don't want to be part of it. That is why Biafrans say they will never participate in any election. And I hope it's not going to be only Biafrans. Very soon, you're going to see other people joining. Because these people who call themselves politicians, they are not representing us. They are not representing us. They are representing themselves. As far as I know, the voice of the masses in Nigeria standing today is the voice of Asuda Mazen and Sunday Igboho. They are speaking for the people. If you doubt it, conduct a referendum. Conduct of a referendum. If you win the referendum, then we hands down. Everybody will stop this noise making and go back to base. But if you refuse to conduct an election, that means you are oppressing the people. You have an true motive, and we will not allow you to succeed. We won't. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter the strategies you bring. We will continue to speak up, and we'll continue to fight this battle until the end. And we believe that victory is very, very close. Very, very close. Victory is at the doorstep. If you are a Biafran and you have not started adding your voice, add your own voice and share the video. Share the video and give a thumbs up to the video so that other people will also join you and watch. Give a thumbs up to the video. If you have not given a thumbs up, give a thumbs up to the video. We will continue to speak the truth, say it the way it is without looking to anybody. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they do. We will continue until Biafra comes. No matter what they do, they can't stop us. Thank God people are speaking up today. People are speaking up. Everybody is now hearing what we are saying. It is no longer hearsay. It is not noise making. Everything that our senior Ghana have said in the past is now coming to every of his effort. That thing they call noise making. That is noise making. It is no longer noise making. You can see it by your own self. You see it playing out. It is no longer noise making. They have seen it that it is no longer noise making. It is not noise making. That everybody is fighting hard and everything that we said is coming to pass. We must continue the struggle. Every Biafran, do not relent in your effort. Do not allow this Janjaweed to take over. It doesn't matter what they do. They will kill us. We will kill them. At the end of the day, Biafra will surely come.
Win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's a three. Unapoli Mary Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's a three. Unapoli Mary Nandi bo onye do I walk. O Mary Woni Nizu Biroya. Abakare, Mamanda Ora, Unaburi Mary Nandi, Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's a three. Unaburi Mary Nandi, Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's a three. Unaburi Mary Nandi.
It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. They will kill us. We will kill them. At the end of the day, Biafra must surely come. Biafra will surely come. It doesn't matter what they do. Our Supreme Ambassador Nnamdi Kanu is as white and whiter than snow, and they will never find any fault in him. They can continue to look for their evidence anywhere they like. They can continue to kill innocent people, but it's not going to be for too long. A country that praises something that is evil, a country that supports evil and demonizes something that is good. Go and check all the people they are celebrating as their heroes in Nigeria. All the people that they are calling their founding fathers in the north, they are all criminals. They are all criminals. They are all terrorists. Look at Othman Danfodio. Othman Danfodio, you see today they are praising, is a criminal, is a terrorist. He came to the Hausa people and he killed the Hausa people. He killed the Hausa leaders. He committed genocide against the Hausas. And that is the person they are celebrating today. Look at Ahmadu Bello. Ahmadu Bello himself is another ethnic bigot, somebody who was preaching hate speech. He was preaching hate on an international television. He was preaching hate, Ahmadu Bello. Hate against the South. He was preaching hate against the South. If you watch that his clip, I don't have it there, maybe later I'll find a clip and play it. When you see in that clip where he was being interviewed, they were asking him about why is he so, what had an Igbo man done to him that he's so angry about the Igbo man? What did he say? He couldn't find anything to say. The only thing he is hard against Igbo people is that we are hardworking. That when you take an Igbo man and put him in a labor camp, he will emerge and become the leader in the labor camp. That is annoyance. That an Igbo person will not stay down. That an Igbo people will not stay. And when he was talking about an Igbo people, it doesn't mean the Igbo speaking people alone. When he was using that language, Igbo, he was referring to everybody in the southern part of Nigeria. When Ahmadu Bello was making that statement, he was referring to everybody in the southern part of Nigeria. That was why when the man went forward to ask him questions, he was saying that if they cannot find somebody to rule Nigeria, that they will go and employ somebody from outside to rule. That if they could not get somebody from outside, they would take somebody from southern part of Nigeria on contract. That was where he made the statement to show you what he was pursuing. That every hatred that he was speaking there was hatred against the South. But you know, all this while, before the coming of our Supreme Ambassador Nnamdi Kanu, they will always use that blanket word of Igbo Biafrans. And when they present it, you see every other person will fall in line. They will present the Igbo Biafrans, and when they present it, every other person will fall in line. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came and destroyed that very strategy. Today, that strategy is no longer working. That strategy is no longer working. Today, we have known the real enemy, which is the Fulani Janjaweed. Look at the Murtala Mohammed, whom they are celebrating. Not even that, they went and put Murtala Mohammed in a central place in Lagos, in an international airport where the whole world are coming. That very man you see, they use his name in the international airport, is a criminal. Somebody that committed genocide against the Biafrans. He committed genocide. When you are hearing about Asaba massacre that was just celebrated last time, just some few weeks ago, the person that permitted that Asaba massacre was this very Murtala Mohammed they are celebrating. Murtala Mohammed, you are hearing his name as Murtala Mohammed International Airport, where if you are landing from abroad, that is the first place to see. That man is a terrorist. He committed genocide, and they are celebrating him. Look at Abacha. Abacha that looted the country dry. That looted the country, that the money he stole is still coming from his grave up to today. But they named a stadium after him. These people don't care about you. When they have their own criminals, they will protect their criminals, but they come to the South that they will demonize the Southern people who have joined them in their criminality. That is why the Southerners who are joining these people don't know what they are facing. They don't know what they're exposing themselves into. Because when you join the Janjaweed, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, when you go and serve the Janjaweed, that you either come back dead or disgraced. You come back in shame or you come back dead. And that is what is happening. Every of these politicians, you see them, they are demonizing, both the ones they are putting in jail. They are the people who have served them in the past, who they have shared money and stole money in the past. Them and their northern partners have shared money. They have stolen the money of the nation and shared within themselves. But when they want to trap, they will trap those ones from the southern part of Nigeria to jail them while they protect their own people. Look at Ojus Okano, who was detained last time and he went out. Ojus Okano, the people who stole money with him, they are still in the north. Nobody touched them. So many criminals in the north, nobody touched them. Look at what I used to hear about the grass cutter. The grass cutter that stole money that was meant for poor people. Do you still hear about him? He didn't go to jail for one day. Nobody's talking about him. The recent one we are talking about, the Abakiere issue. I used to hear about Abakiere. I used to hear him. That is how the case died. I used to hear about Abakiere that US sent an information to extradite him, to send him to the United States to answer for a case of fraud. I used to hear about it. Even the late Buhari, who they are using his name today to run Nigeria, he stole money from Nigeria. He stole Nigeria dry. They covered it up. They covered it up and used their criminals in the southern part of Nigeria. Someone like Tinubu, who is another criminal like them, use him to come and paint him as somebody who has integrity. Today, they are all suffering that very misintegrity they brought. That man they call misintegrity, you can see the way he has destroyed Nigeria more than ever. More than ever. That the people that are supporting them from the southern part are the people who they are definitely going to kill at the end of the day, just to demonize the people in the south. If you are playing with the Janjaweed and you are trying to play any game with them, you are risking your own life. You are doing that at your own risk. You are doing it at your own risk. May Chukwu Kuka Abiyama guide and protect all of us and direct us aright on the path of truth. Teach us the way we shall follow. Teach us the way we shall follow. We will continue on this path and we will continue to bring you information. Anything that we hear, we say it. When you hear something on your own self, if you hear something, say something. Don't be silent. Everything you put forward in the social media is making a contribution. When something happens in your area, do not keep it to yourself. You speak out. Let the world know what is going on. This is how we're going to fight this battle, because now the battle has gone to an international stage. It has gotten to international stage. This is the time to speak up with evidence. When you are speaking, you speak with evidence. Provide your evidence and show the world. That is the way to go. We cannot allow them to change the narrative, no matter how they try. No matter how they try, no matter the strategy they bring, they can never change the narrative. We will not allow them. Our Spirit and Amazing now can have laid a strong foundation, and on that foundation will continue to stand. We continue to stand on that foundation until Biafra comes. And after Biafra, we will continue to stand firm and make sure that we keep a standard that's going to favor everybody. We are not preaching hate speech. We are not talking against anybody. We are not lying against anybody. What we are saying is live and let's live. But for the Janjaweed who have said they will not live, they will not live either. They will not live. One thing we will not allow is for them to change the narrative or to use their conventional media to continue to play things down, continue to change the narrative. We will not allow them. No matter how they try, we can't allow it. We will continue to say it and set the record straight. That is what we do. Thank you so much for joining me wherever you are joining from. I pray that Chukwu Okukabema will strengthen you and guide you and protect you wherever you are. Your opinion. Please share the video and give a like to the video. Add your own opinion. Since there is nobody coming on stage to contribute, maybe some other time you prepare yourself, you can come out and contribute and make your own opinion known to the world. Everybody have something to say. Everybody have a contribution to make. You want freedom. I want freedom. Nobody knows it all. It is when we come together and put our effort together, we can be able to overcome them. They have the conventional media. We have the social media. And the social media is where things happen. That is where things are happening. That is why we can never allow them to hijack. You can see how they are crying. You can see how they are crying. You see Lion Mohammed lamenting, telling us that we're going to cause war, another third world war. Let's watch that clip of Lion Mohammed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, once again, I can only thank you for your passionate plea. And I hope that this time around your plea will be answered. But I think I also want to please implore you that whatever you can do on your own end too, sir. Sir, information is not what it used to be. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, if a state or federal government had a television and radio, and probably a newspaper, that was all it needed. The people we are dealing with today, they don't read newspapers. They don't even watch television. It's social media. And it's the most expensive and the most, as an unseen enemy. They are there every moment. And until we use the same, we go to the same battlefield with them, there's nothing the government will do that will seem right. Now with fake news today, and misinformation, and I've always said it here, that the next world war will be caused by fake news. You can see even a country like the US that used to pride itself on the freedom of the press is now questioning the role of the social media. Their Congress is doing exactly what we are doing now. So I thank you once again for your support, but I think the least you can do for me, Mr. Chairman, is that even the news they are giving us, please return it to us like that way, sir. And then look for more for us. Thank you very much, sir. Now, Mr. Chairman, sir, to answer your question, yes, because of the releases, I think what we do is we do general implementation, sir. We don't do selective, sir. We do general implementation. On the recurrent, sir, the percentage of the releases is actually 67%, sir. That is the percentage of what has been released for recurrent. The issue of travel, sir. Yes, it's true that there's COVID, and as a matter of fact, I don't remember when any of us traveled last. But there are certain statutory, meetings that you have to attend. And it's not even the minister this time around, it's the various, directors. We are members of statutory organizations like the UNWTO, like UNESCO, like G8 and co. And these meetings must go on. Again, sir, the quantum, sir, what it used to take to travel, sir, to London, even if the fares have not gone up, the amount in Naira has gone up, sir. So a year or two ago, sir, $1,000, you could buy it for about just 360 Naira. Today, you need 575,000 Naira to buy $1,000. Plus, the prices of this, the airfares have gone up since COVID-19, sir. So this is what will seem to account for the disjointed percentage, sir. And then, sir, even the total allocation is small. That is the problem, sir. Well, sir, on the issue of meals, sir, Mr. Chairman, sir, we have a staff of 2,500 in our ministry, sir. When you look at 18 million naira, sir, it's less than probably 1,000 naira, sir, per person, in terms of even welfare, in terms of meetings, in terms of so really, Mr. Chairman, sir, if you look at it, how we survived is a miracle. We tighten our stomach every time. Our case is not. We're not showing our. This year, according to our cyber, according to the cloth available. And then you see, last year here, sir, 1 billion was yanked off here from our budget, sir, and it was panic. If we ask for 3 billion and you yank off 1 billion, what can we do with the 2 billion? And like rightly said, sir, once there's underfunding, it leads to so many complications. It leads to too many complications. I agree with you. Sometimes you just fold your arms. What can you do? What you need to do with 1,000 naira, they give you 200. You can't do it. Mr. Chairman, I think the problem is funding. Funding and funding again. The world today revolves around fake news. You all wake up to see fake news about you, about your constituency, about the house. Only 2 days ago, the London Economist wrote a kind of figment, all kind of stories that are not true, which we have to respond to. So, Mr. Chairman, sir, I think we, both legislative and the executive, must look at information from a different, prism. Thank you, sir.
Python that's 1, Python that's 2, now Python that's 3. Unaboli Mary Nandi win the war. Python that's 1, Python that's 2, now Python that's 3. Unaboli Mary Nandi bu onye du aimo. O Mary woni nizu ngiro ya abakare. Mamanda ora, Unaboli Mary Nandi win the war. Python that's 1, Python that's 2, now Python that's 3. Unaboli Mary Nandi win the war. Python that's 1, Python that's 2, now Python that's 3. Unaboli Mary Nandi.
Thank you so much for joining me on the program. I appreciate you all who has been patient with me from the beginning to the end. I thank you all for your contribution. I will see you again next time. Remember, blessed. Please share the video and also put a like. If you have not liked the video, put a like. Give your contributions at all time at the comment section. Thank you so much and remember, blessed. Bye-bye. See you again next time.